It's November, and you know what that means. It's time for a new WeVideo Creative Challenge. Hey everybody, if you've been with us for the last few months here at WeVideo, actually since the beginning of the year, you know when the calendar turns, it's time for a new WeVideo Creative Challenge. So I'm here with Stu today, and we're going to take you through our newest creative challenge that launched, I guess, theoretically November 1st, but today is probably, or yesterday probably is the first time you might be navigating over to the website and discovering that it's there. So we thought we'd take this opportunity on today's Quick Tip Show to introduce you to the challenge and talk through how you can submit your challenge and enter for a chance to win some cool prizes.
Yeah, this is a fun challenge too. This month's challenge focuses on building vocabulary, academic vocabulary, and it's something that any teacher really can leverage in their classroom, regardless of what content area that you teach. And the activity is pretty simple. It's something that you can. It's a quick activity that you can use in your classroom with relative ease, and something you could really use over and over again throughout the school year.
Absolutely. And I really love, this application to many different content areas, as you mentioned, but also English language development as well, academic vocabulary development, those tier 2 and tier 1 vocabulary terms where you're really needing to dig in and doing pre-teaching for a science unit or a math unit, and you want to use these kinds of activities to start focusing on vocabulary. It's a really great way to do that as well. I know from my time as an elementary school teacher, I had a lot of English language learners and a lot of intermediates, and we used different vocabulary activities to teach the academic vocabulary so that they had a grounding in whatever science unit or social studies unit or math unit that we were digging into. So it was a really great way. And I wish I would have had an activity like this, because it would have been super fun to build your flashcards that are animated and digital and use those again and again in your teaching practice.
Totally. Yeah. I think that, as we'll find when we look at some examples, I think this is it's like a more dynamic version of some of the traditional modes of teaching vocabulary. Think about various models that involve things like the word, the definition, using the word in a sentence, or pairing an image with the word, right? Like it's taking that idea of sort of drawing and using creativity and art and imagery to create visual associations with the word. But it's going that much further, because now you're taking like video clips and audio and text and using multiple modes of expression to make connections to make meaning of the word, and then connect it to real world context that really helps to solidify students' understanding of the term.
Yeah, for sure. And we thought it would be a great challenge for the month of November as well. I think this is something that's a little bit, I think, you're going to find our last month's challenge, right, was a call for change. We partnered with KQED on a maybe longer form media project. This one is going to be a little bit simpler to produce, right? Take you less time to do in your classroom, theoretically, I think, which, we like to vary the degree of complexity for these challenges. I think that keeps it interesting, keeps users coming back to see what new things we're going to be putting out every month. But this one you're going to find might take you a little bit quicker. We know that some schools might be heading into the holiday season or around Thanksgiving, so it'll give you the opportunity to put something in front of students that you can get done, in a shorter amount of time.
Absolutely, yeah. So should we take a look at some examples of what this would look like?
Yep.
So here's the creative challenge page for the month of November. And so I've got a couple examples on here. And so basically the idea here is that you're going to create an animated vocabulary card. It looks like this. It's going to pair the definition. If you want, you can do, the part of speech and some of that kind of information. And then you've got the definition. And then you've got a video clip and some audio. So let's take a look at this example here for biodiversity. Okay, so yeah, in that example, right, it's using sort of music as the audio and trying to sort of capture the both the meaning of the term and the essence of the term, kind of trying to sort of like think about the tone. What does biodiversity make you feel like? What is it, you know, and how can you kind of capture that with audio? So
Relaxed. That's how I felt.
yeah,
Very
calm,
relaxed.
soothing. Yeah, I mean, a biodiverse, healthy, biodiverse environment, right? Like that's a nice scene right there.
Yeah. Soothing.
Um, yeah. So, and that's a video clip, then an image that can really stick with students and help to imprint this term in their mind as they try to recall that the term they have that association to make, and it can help with recalling the meaning, but also understanding it in a real world um, in the context of the real world, and make those kinds of associations.
And I think too, there's research that says that when you're creating something, right, the act of producing an artifact is going to make stronger connections in your memory, and both your short term and when you load information to long term memory. The act of creation of something, the production of something, is a much better way to tie that learning together in your brain to help you recall it, like Stu was mentioning. Over something like even just writing it down or looking at a flashcard over and over again and trying to memorize it. Like, this act of creating is going to help with make those long-term memory connections stick better for students.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let's take a look at another example. This one's for the term amphibian, and just a slightly different approach on this one. So let's take a look at this one. So I'm just going to bring the volume down so we can kind of talk over that. So slightly different approach in this one. One, the audio, you're hearing forest sounds, so you're making some auditory associations with the definition of the term. And then two, we're introducing different aspects of the definition along with imagery that kind of connects with that part of the definition, right? So
Yep.
when we start to say, that an amphibian, that they're distinguished by having an aquatic gill-breathing larva stage, we're showing that stage, and then when we're talking about followed typically by a terrestrial lung-breathing adult stage, we're showing that stage, right? So they can really make connections to what that actually looks like in real life, and show like a little bit more complicated visual representation of the definition of this term.
Yeah, awesome. I love that one too. I think that's a more complex term. Actually, well, okay, biodiversity and amphibian are both complex terms. I said depending on the context in which you're teaching it, but I really do like how you made the connection with the amphibian to the environment as well. So it gives like a real it contextualizes everything, and then where that term is like seen in reality, kind of, right? Like where you would encounter what an amphibian is in this space that you've created in that digital card, which is super cool.
Totally, yeah. And there's some different fun things you could do with this. Like, you could have students create a video that, maybe initially doesn't show the definition, and then play a game in class, like play the videos and see, which group can buzz in and come up with the definition first, and then have the definition revealed in the video,
Yep,
sort
totally.
of harken back to what Ryan was saying, how we used to use flashcards to study vocabulary, right? That'd be a sort of a way to gamify that
Totally.
strategy.
Yep.
But then bolster it with this kind of content creation
Absolutely.
activity. Yeah. And then and then the other idea here is that you can make your animated vocab cards, but then you can compile them into a playlist, and essentially build a multimedia dictionary on a theme or on a unit of study. So, you could have one student create their own multimedia dictionary. You could have, student groups divide and conquer, divide up the words, and then compile them into a multimedia dictionary. So here's one on the theme of sustainability, where we have some different terms that you might study, like sustainability, rainforest, biodiversity, and amphibian. And then this rainforest example, just a slightly different approach from the other ones. Just show this.
I love the sound of the rain you got in there. It's a great sound effect.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just instead of music, right? It's just the sound that you would hear in a rainforest, right? That you really want to associate with that term. So
yeah, bird sounds too. I feel like there's a lot of bird sounds in a rainforest.
There are a lot of birds. Yeah, a lot of ways you could go with that. That is a good point. So, should we talk about assigning this activity in the class in class? Like,
yeah. So now you've kind of seen some examples. You see what you can do with this. I love the idea of creating that multimedia vocab dictionary. Like that's perfect for any unit to have your students' work collected in a playlist like this and made accessible for them to study with. I think that's a super cool extension of this project. Doesn't have to connect to the creative challenge we're talking about, but again, if you're doing this like not as a creative challenge or you're just baking this into your curriculum elsewhere, I think that's a really cool application for it. But yeah, let's see how you can assign this project, and then let's just do a quick sample of how you made one of these cards.
Cool. Yeah. And I will just say, as far as submitting media for the creative challenge, you can submit just a single animated vocab card, or you can submit a playlist. Either one works. So yeah, or a number of animated vocab cards that your students created.
It would be pretty neat to see your vocab dictionary, your digital vocab. So if you do that, if you have all your students complete this assignment, it would be super, super cool to see that as a playlist for us.
Totally. Yeah. And then, like if you run that activity and you have students create a multimedia dictionary in the form of a playlist, then you show those in class, and you could have even, run some activity around that as you show them. Maybe have like 1 or 2 students raise their hand after each video and provide some constructive feedback or positive feedback to students. Oh, I like the image that you chose, it's a good association or whatever. And in doing so, you're discussing vocabulary, and you're sort of like, they're studying the vocabulary as you're reviewing the videos that students made. So it's just another way to like get the vocabulary in front of them, and almost trick them into studying the vocabulary.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Disguising learning, Stu.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as running this activity in your class, you can log in as a teacher to WeVideo, navigate to the assignment ideas library, find this this activity here, animated vocab cards. Go ahead and preview that activity. It does come with this example as well as a link to the multimedia dictionary that we just showed. And this one comes with a starting block. So it's going to help with super quick creation from students. So I'm going to go ahead and save this assignment. Let's go, we'll do this for science. And I'll close out of here. Let's navigate over to my science class. And I'm going to go ahead and just assign this as is. It can really be that quick for assigning this activity. So, and then I'm going to jump over to a student account. So I'll just open this up as the teacher. I can see, okay, none of my students have started yet. Let's jump over to a student account. So to complete this project as a student, they're just going to navigate to classes. They'll open up their class. They'll see animated vocab cards. They'll go ahead and jump in. And okay, so now we see the starting block is set up for them. So template in the video editor to make this super quick. So what term should we do? Let's do you have any terms on the topic of like sustainability that we could do?
What about upcycling?
Upcycling. Okay.
I'm looking at a on like right in front of me, I have a art piece of a drummer that's been made out of like old wire. So that's why it came to my brain.
Okay, let's do it. Upcycle. All right, let me jump in here. So we've got different text blocks for different parts of this term. So I'll just come in here and I will edit the word upcycle. And let's look up a definition for upcycle. Okay, upcycle. Here we go. Here we go. So I'm going to close out of there. We'll do this next part here. Upcycle is a verb. And I believe it's just going to be upcycle. Does that look right to you?
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive that you knew that off of the top of your head.
So I guess basic language.
I might fact check
Thank
your students.
No, I'm looking this up as I'm going.
No, it's
okay. So okay, I'm gonna grab a definition here. Now I'm curious if you like whether you like this definition or not.
Okay, I'm not cheating. I'm not going to look up. I'm gonna respond to this based on my own in my head that I know about this word.
Okay, what do we think here? Reuse discarded objects or material in such a way as to create a product of higher quality or value than the original.
I don't know if it needs to be higher quality or value, but
yeah, I hadn't seen that in the other definition I looked at.
I've never seen that associated with upcycling before, like that part of it, because I don't when I think about like when you're upcycling, what you're really doing is trying to not buy new things made from new materials or produce them or produce your own materials or own things on previously used or discarded or like objects that aren't of use anymore, and reusing that in a creative way to create something else that's new, but then not necessarily it has to be higher quality or original or higher value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm actually seeing that in a lot of definitions that I guess that, yeah, part of it is creating something with more value, but yeah, I could see that. Maybe that's the difference between upcycling and recycling.
Maybe. I think maybe value is in terms of like its value as an object or an item or something that's like going to be more valuable than whatever it is that was being discarded in the first place. So value not being like monetary value, but something that's like now it's because this wire, right, that I'm looking at the drummer statue is like that was not a valuable thing. It was being discarded and wasted, but now it's of value because I'm displaying it in my home.
Yeah. I think I'm reading that like artistic value can be is one of the main sources of value that I'm seeing here.
My brain jumped right to monetary value.
Yeah. Okay, well, do we like this definition? There's also the process of reusing or repurposing items to create new products that are more valuable or have better quality than the original.
I think this definition encapsulates like what the term is. We're going through a really great exercise you can also go through with your students. Like learning what the appropriate definition could be, or if it represents the term to the fullest extent of the definition, like how it's associated with the word. So I really like doing this. I think that definition is fine though. I think it encompasses what upcycling is.
Okay, great. Let's stick with that then. And then, so next would be coming up with a visual representation of upcycling. So we'll search the stock media library. I mean, what are some images that come to mind that you think we could search for?
Ooh.
This is where I knew you gave me a tricky word.
I did,
but I bet we can do this.
And now you're putting me through the paces, which is totally fun.
You tried to do it to me, so
I did. I didn't mean to do that. Honestly, it was one of those things where it's like find something close to you to think of a word about. No, I would bet we could start with something like reused materials and find something, or like I want to just search upcycling, see what you get. I'd be curious to know. I've never searched it in our stock media library for nothing. Okay. What about upcycling?
It's kind of an obscure. What, with like a like that, or
no, you did. You searched. You were just going quick. I didn't notice it.
Okay.
Search for like recycle or No. Okay, what about reused materials or reuse?
What are some common things that get upcycled, like clothing?
Yeah, clothing for sure. Yeah.
Let's see, what about, okay, how about artistic clothing or fashion? Ooh. This person could be in the process of, oh, she could totally be in the process of upcycling those clothes behind her.
Totally. Yeah. I was gonna say the other thing is like repurposed like food containers or
Okay.
glass, right? Like that's or furniture.
Okay. Let's see. I want to remember this one. Furniture.
Yeah. Did you add that to your project bin?
No, I didn't. Oh my gosh, I should go back.
Anytime you're doing these kinds of searches, and we're doing this in real time with you all, if you like something and you think you might use it in your project, just right click and save it to your project bin, whatever right clicking is for you on your device.
Okay, I really like this one because I'm imagining she took this shirt, it was just plain, and then she added these patches to make it super fashionable and cool.
Yes. We used at the in my time as a summer camp director for a STEM camp, we used to run a program for middle schoolers called Fashion Upcycling, where we would just have the kids gather materials that they find in their daily lives, and they brought them in, or clothing articles or material or whatever it was, and they got to make like new cool clothes out of that material. And it was a super creative class. It taught sewing, hand sewing, machine sewing, and just like creative use of material. It was really neat. I just got cycling on the brain now.
Yeah. I love these images because there are several images of the same person working on the same project. So you could really neat. Show like a creative process, which is kind of cool.
Stock media coming through again. I was worried. I thought I got us into a pickle here and I backed us into a corner with my upcycling, but honestly, it turned out that our stock media library came through. And that's another reason why this is an amazing tool, is that you can find for maybe words that you might think are obscure. Like this is probably an obscure word for most folks. And I think we found an image that it represents in the stock media library.
We did. Okay, cool. So any other terms you want to search, or should we go with that one?
I like that one. I don't think it's going to get better. Like you could spend another 10, 20 minutes searching the library for that perfect image. It's going to represent the context of the definition of your word. Yeah, I think this is again, going back to tying this into curriculum, right? Like the students, whatever is going to help them develop that connection to recall the fact, the information that they're creating is going to be entirely appropriate. So this is what gets that student to remember that this is what upcycling is, that it's the reuse of, or the creative reuse of materials to create something of more higher value and quality than the original. Then this is what we go with.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so for this one, so this could be as simple as just choosing a single image and then dragging it down over the video clip that's there. Click and replace. Boom, we're done. But I actually want to use a couple different video clips for this one just to show the creative process.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to bring this down here. And this whole clip is running 30 seconds. We probably don't need it to run that long. Like maybe we'll make our clip like 15 seconds. So I'm just going to trim these down. And then we'll kind of show this creative process in here. So I'm just going to throw some of these in here. We'll click trim to fit, and then we'll trim that down even further, maybe like 2 seconds. And then we'll show the overhead. I'll click trim to fit again, bring this down to around 2 seconds. And then we'll use, there we go. It's more on the creative process, trim to fit. Bring this down to like 3 seconds, just create some variation. And then this one, I am going to drag over here because I want to use a later part of this clip. So I'm just going to click S on my keyboard to split this, get rid of this.
Shout out keyboard shortcut.
Yeah, and then we'll do that again.
And for all of you that missed that, it's control or command on a Mac. It's Command S.
Just S.
Just S.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been doing the long way.
Yeah, and then delete to delete the stuff you don't want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So now we just need to replace the audio. So let me trim that down since we brought this down to 15 seconds. What do you think is some good audio to search for this?
Jazz.
Okay. I love jazz.
Yeah, I love the jazz music in our library. I use it a lot in my own work because it's just like there's so many cool clips. I know Stu uses it a lot too.
I do.
Look at everything he makes, and it's got a lot of jazz involved because I know he loves jazz.
I do love jazz. Yeah, actually, yeah, I do love jazz, and I think it fits with this kind of, you're in the midst of a creative process. Jazz is a great thing to put on. So let's try to find something that works.
I heard that one before.
I like to switch it up. Ooh, this one's nice. I like this one. It's got kind of some holiday vibes. I like this one.
That one has like a bossa nova feel to it.
Yeah, it does.
Like the rhythm, that bass line. Cool. Here's some favorites in this search.
What's that?
Here's some favorites in this search.
I know. I could go on forever searching. Well, this one's cool. Okay, well, let's try these two because I'm liking this one. I'm going to share this.
I like that one.
And then I'm liking this one.
Ooh.
So let's try them both. Drag this down, replace. You tell me, what do you like better here? Let's give this one a try.
I love that bass line. It's so brooding.
It really keeps the film and the artistic process moving. It kind of works in that way.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay, that was the one, and then let's see, that was On a Vacation. Try this one.
I love how they're named too.
I know. All right, let's try this one.
Another really good bass line too.
Pretty good. What do you like better?
But I think B.
Yeah, I was leaning towards that too. I was surprised by it because I really liked A, so I was a little surprised by that.
I don't know. I just like the syncopation on that one. With the upbeat of the piano with the downbeat of the bass was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think if it were me and I were making just a short film to illustrate this idea of upcycling, I would probably finish it off by just finding a nice place for the audio to end so it's not too abrupt.
Yep.
So what do you think? Like,
probably right. I like that the mark you chose was fine. I think that's a good spot to fade it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just that like beat that's kind of picking it back up there. But let's see if we fade this out.
I mean, it wouldn't be a terrible song to cut, like to be an abrupt ending, because it has that like kind of that upbeat. There's like a final upbeat, right?
Yeah.
Like how the way a song would end on an upbeat leaves you in suspense more so than it would if it ends on a downbeat.
Let's see what it's like fading out here.
Yeah, that's fine too. I mean, I think that works, but
I'm gonna try just. I want it to give us a closing melody, you know? Like doot doot. You know, I just needed to go doot 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 doot.
That worked.
I think we need one last.
Like another beat, more beat.
Yeah, we just need one last one. Let's see if we can like make this super faint.
It doesn't want to give it to us.
It's so close.
It just doesn't want to give it to us.
Okay, wait, that might work. That might be work. I mean, that might work.
And then it ends. That's good. I think that's as good as we're gonna get.
All right.
For this episode.
All right, I'm gonna extend these out, and we're just gonna throw some transitions to close. We're just gonna throw some dip to black on there. Let's make it 2 seconds.
Yep.
Go. We'll make them all 2 seconds. All right. Let's check the setting out. Okay.
Yeah, it works. I think it works for what we have to work with right now.
Yeah.
You could spend dozens of minutes tinkering with this.
Okay, yeah. So here's our final piece. Yeah,
that
great.
Works. Yeah.
And then, you could play around too, like if you wanted to, you could like underline words if you wanted to emphasize, like we were talking about higher quality, if you wanted to like emphasize that, you could play around with some of that stuff in the definition as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I think once you've got this to a place that you feel good about, you can go ahead. Well, students, go ahead, click turn in. And
if you're making these for your students, honestly.
Yeah. If you're making one like an example or whatever, you can export it. But yeah, then as a teacher, you'll have all of the turned in projects here. I have one right now because one student's turned them in, but once they're all turned in, I'll have access to all of them there. And that will essentially be your multimedia dictionary. All organized for you without you really having to do anything.
And your submission for our creative challenge. So like now there's the challenge is real for you because I went with upcycle, and let's see if you can pick a more obscure word to do this challenge with.
Yeah, and we always love seeing what teachers and instructional leaders and ambassadors create too. So, Ryan just put the challenge out there for you to come up with a fun, obscure word. Yeah, we'd love to see your media. Post it to social media. Use the hashtag WeVideoCreative. Tag it WeVideo so we could see it.
Tag us.
Celebrate your work. And,
share this. And Stu, this is the way they enter the challenge, correct? Or that one way they can. But there's also on the webpage, there's going to be a form that you'll fill out to submit as well.
Yeah, there's a submission form on the page, and always great for people to use that submission form as your sort of like as your sort of formal submission. And so that's on that submission page here. There's a little link here to a form to submit your video for the chance to win prizes. And then, it's also, sharing to social is a great way to engage with our educator community, our creative community, and share what you're creating and see what each other are creating and just connect with each other and be a part of this wonderful community that we have here.
Any information related to the challenge, there'll be down in our description below, wevideo.com/creative-challenges, to get to all of our past challenges as well. The submission window for those is closed, but again, they're great projects to do. Not just as a self-contained creative challenge, but anytime throughout the year that you're including video in your classroom. I just wanted to give a chance to, we've been running our new sort of suite of creative challenges since August. And, we've had a couple of winners since then. So I wanted to shout out the August winner, Samantha Hutchinson from Chesterfield County Public Schools. She's an elementary school teacher at Bellwood Elementary. And she was super excited to receive a swag pack for winning the My Personality GIF Creative Challenge. And if I can get to the right button and share my screen, I can show you the post that she made here, sharing that awesome swag package. So this could be you. If you're submitting to our challenge, you can receive some pretty sweet swag. Those stickers, look, we do a lot of things great here at WeVideo, but one of the things we do exceptionally great is our sticker game is just always on point. And so those stickers are amazing. We've got the retro TV. We've got the retro VHS tape. Shock your students.
Oh, wow.
And see if they know what that is. If you get one of these stickers and win the creative challenge, you get a mug, you got a t-shirt, you got a notebook, you got some buttons, pens. It's a huge creativity pack for teachers, which is our way of helping you as a winner celebrate your accomplishments. So please complete the challenge, submit, share your work, hashtag WeVideo Creative. It's a lot of fun to celebrate our users. And when we come on and introduce a new challenge, we'll hopefully be able to share the winners of maybe not the previous month's challenge, because right now we're still tabulating the votes for our October Creative Challenge, but we'll share the prior month before that winner to shout you out, help you and our audience see all the cool, sweet swag that you've won. And yeah, keep the love alive for the WeVideo Creative Challenge.
Love that. I love seeing the old throwback stickers. Those were back by popular demand.
Yes.
A number of people asking for those. So
users asked and our designer delivered. Shout out to Brian Gwynn, our in-house WeVideo designer. He is the magic hand behind a lot of these designs. So you asked for it, he made it. And if you see us at a conference, you can pick one of these bad boys up for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to see what people create. So I'm going to be definitely checking out the socials and looking for those submissions to come in, and really excited to see what words people choose for Ryan's challenge.
Yes.
It should be fun to see.
Yep. Again, please submit. We'd love to see your work. And thank you for joining us today. Hope to see you each and every Tuesday here on Quick Tips. Give us a like. Leave a comment about content you want to see us produce on this show. What are you interested in getting a quick tip about? Please click that notification bell, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any WeVideo content. We put all of our video content on this channel, including webinars, including our tutorial videos, including this quick tip show, including anything that comes out of that man's brain comes onto our YouTube channel. So please subscribe to get all of the latest WeVideo content. But until then, until next time, happy creating, everybody. Bye now.